You guys know I love podcasting and listening to podcasts, and I'm guessing if you're listening to this that you love podcasts too. Have you ever considered podcasting yourself? It is a great way to reach your audience, grow your know, like and trust factor, and not need to show your face unless you want to. If it is something you've thought about but you don't know where to start, then head over to becomeapodcaster.uk/BAP quiz, BAP quiz, to access a 2-minute quiz that will help you work out what type of podcast might suit you. That's becomeapodcaster.uk/BAP quiz.
You're listening to WPC UK, the place to be if you are looking to grow and streamline your business in 2023. I'm your host, Donna Eade, and I'll be walking you through processes, productivity, and planning, along with bringing you business experts with knowledge to share. Let's make 2023 the year of success in your business. Welcome back to the Wedding Procast UK. My name is Donna, I'm your host, and in today's episode we'll be looking at the 2023 social media trends that your business needs to know. But first up, don't forget to hit subscribe, take a screenshot and share this episode on your social media so others can learn too. First up, we are going to be talking about the rise of AI-driven marketing. AI-driven marketing is rapidly becoming the go-to method for businesses to acquire and retain customers. AI-driven marketing allows businesses to automate their marketing process, which can save them time and money. It also helps businesses target customers more accurately and provide a personalized experience. Social Media Examiner says that this is something that we should not ignore, but should master. AI is a great tool, especially if you find copy difficult, and the quality of the output has vastly improved in recent years. Rather than sounding like a robot, you really can't tell what a human has scripted versus the AI. So, Social Media Examiner has done a document on this, a blog on this, so I will link that in the show notes for you so you can head over and take a look at the full 2023 breakdown of social media trends. We're just going to be hitting on a few today. AI was a really interesting one to me because I've always sort of had this, what I would say is a healthy fear of AI. I watched iRobot. I did not like where that went, but I actually used an AI software to help me produce the script for this episode, and it was done in mere seconds. Now, the thing with AI is that it will be convincingly wrong. Like, it will believe what it says to the nth degree, and it might be lying, but you won't realize that. So there is this part where you have to make sure that you're inputting the right thing to get the right thing out, and also that you are fact checking what it is outputting before you post it, because we don't want to be putting out false information into the world. And there is a lot of that goes on, and how likely it is that AI will be able to do specific stuff for the wedding industry remains to be seen. However, you are definitely able to create a bare bones blog post that you can then expand on. And I think that's a really good way of using it. So, for example, I kind of gave it, what are the top 2023 social media trends businesses need to know? And it spewed out maybe 8 or 9 sentences with 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those things were things that were mentioned in the Social Media Examiner Trends report. And I was able to take what that bare bones was and expand on it for this episode. So it's definitely something to look at for your blog post if you're looking for something you can do as a bare bones starting point to get you going, to give you some ideas that you can then check. So moving on from AI, we want to look at the importance of, and the increasing importance of video content. Video content has become a powerful tool in business to capture the attention of your target audience. In 2023, you should be focusing on high quality, engaging videos that tell stories and provide valuable insights. Don't create for the sake of creating. Consistency and quality over quantity is the key here. So TikTok has led the way for short form video, and many other platforms have followed suit. Shorts are now appearing in Google, and this is really important for us to grab with both hands. Now, you do not have to be on video if you do not like being on video. There are ways and means around video content that do not focus on silly dances or making you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to sit there and point if you don't want to. You can do a no face video if that's what you want to do. There are ways around it. Do some research. But the more you can be in the videos, the more people can hear your voice, the better connection you are going to get with your audience. And this short form video is great. And in the wedding industry, it's a really good thing because we have so many tips, so many little nuggets that can help couples with their wedding day planning, that you can definitely just do a quick tip on video, share that with a couple. Like I say, you do not have to be on video, but if you can be and if you can use your voice, all the better, because they're going to be connecting with you. But the fact is that Instagram is pushing video over posts. They've basically said they are a video sharing platform now. They are not focusing on static posts. Carousels can still do well, but static posts are basically falling into the abyss over video content there. And YouTube is placing a lot of value on shorts. They are getting more space on YouTube, and it is definitely something to look at because YouTube is the second biggest search engine owned by the first biggest search engine. So if you can put your short form video onto YouTube, when people search a question, your video, your short form video can come up as the answer, and that is powerful. So literally, if you take short form video and you take the top 30 questions you get asked by couples in your niche and you answer them one at a time on short form video, then literally any bride who is searching that, how much should a planner cost? If you have got a short form video that says, when you're looking to hire a planner, look for XYZ and you should be looking at around this amount, they're going to come to your page. They're going to look at who you are. They're going to see what it is that you're about. It is such a great advertising tool. So don't overlook the importance of video content. I don't want you guys to be disappearing in people's feeds. So make sure that you are doing a good dose of video content in your content marketing this year. Now, I said earlier that it is really important to have consistency and quality over quantity. This is not about putting out a reel every day. You do not need to do that. You will get much better return on your time investment if you make good quality short videos and put up 1 or 2 a week. That is going to do you better than doing one every day. And that's not to say you don't put anything up the rest of the week. I'm sort of in two minds about posting every day versus posting, 3 times a week or whatever. But I feel like consistency, your upload schedule should be the same. So upload Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and people know then that they're going to see you in their feed on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and just keep those algorithms ticking over. But don't be a slave to the algorithm. Make content that is useful for your target audience over the algorithm, and your people will find you. Next, and I touched on this last week when I was talking about advertising, is the importance of user-generated content. So user-generated content is content created by your clients, such as reviews, ratings, and posts. And this type of content can be extremely valuable for your business. as it can help you to build trust and credibility with potential customers. Look for ways you can incentivize your clients to do a social post, reel, or story about you. So I said this last week and it bears repeating. If you get yourself a loyalty scheme in place for your clients and you say to them, do a post on Instagram between the 1st and the 7th of the month, and you'll be entered into a draw at the end of the month. You can enter every single month. You can do a new post and you will get entered. Make sure that they tag you in it. By restricting the days, as I said last week, it creates a little bit of a buzz around you, and that can help push extra traffic to you. So we all know that the power of word of mouth. We want that word of mouth referral, and that works just as well on social media, especially with the rise of the micro influencer, which is another thing that I said last week. So any time you can get your clients to recommend you, to talk about you, to share you, it is a valuable piece of internet real estate that you're putting out there. So if they can do a post, you could even do it that they get, different number of entries. For if they do a post, they get 1 entry. If they do a story, they get 2 entries. If they do a reel, they get 3 entries, because a post isn't going to be seen by very many people on Instagram. A story disappears in 24 hours and a reel is like where it's at. So if they can do a reel about you, even better. But you can work that out yourself, do whatever you like. But if you can get people to talk about you on the internet, whether that is your clients or whether it is colleagues, that is vital to helping you grow your business and your brand on social media. So finally, I wanted to talk about the social customer care and how that can lead to a great return on investment. So businesses can spend an enormous amount of time and money on content marketing. But the thing is, and I've said it before, people are not starved for content. Like, I would just like to put out there again that I kind of feel like sometimes it would be really nice to just pull the plug on the internet and start over with no information out there about anything, because there is so much misinformation out there, so much repeated information out there, that it just overwhelms me. It really does. And I don't know if you've ever heard it said or have that knowledge yourself, that if your space is cluttered, your mind is cluttered, and it actually has a physical effect on our stress levels. So if you live in a house that is really messy, it can really affect your stress levels. And I kind of feel like I've got that with the internet, because I have the thing in my house. I'm doing a huge big declutter of my home this year, so I have that in the house, and every time I clear a space and I can breathe, I'm just like, Last year I cleared off my window seat. So I've got a bay window at the front of my house and a window seat. And I've always wanted, it's what sold the house to me. I was like, oh my God, there's already a window seat. I love it. So I always wanted a window seat. And I got my window seat, which is fantastic. However, it became a dumping ground for everything, because the window seat isn't actually in the living room, it forms part of our dining room. I wasn't sitting in it because it was the other end of the room, so it was just it's a bit out of the way, and it's good for reading, but I don't read enough, as we know by my New Year's resolutions, if you listen to that episode. But I cleared it off last summer, got rid of everything that was on it, made it so that it was able to be used for its purpose, and I kept it that way, and I just feel so much better. Every time I look at it, it makes me smile. And maybe you don't get affected by these things, but I do. So when I open up my computer and I see that I'm literally looking at my laptop right now, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 tabs open on my internet browser. And I have what I'm recording the podcast open, and I have Adobe open, and I have my File Explorer open. Now, that is just so busy. And there's this unconscious knowledge of the internet being so full to bursting with content that it makes me feel away. Like if your house is completely tidy, but you know that behind every door, drawer and cupboard is an absolute mess and it's just bursting to come out, that's still going to mentally affect you. And I think the internet does the same for me. I really do. I would love to be able to pull the plug and just get rid of it. But that was a really big side note, guys. My apologies. So people are not starved for content. There is content for years out there on the internet. What they really want is connection. And we saw that, and that kind of started back in 2020 when we were cut off from everybody we knew and the life that we were living. And I think that it's only getting stronger now. And the number of times that I hear people say, no, I'd rather do it in person, or do you know anybody who does this in person? Or I don't want to do it online, or I want to do it one-on-one, is like growing. The amount of people that I hear say it. We're craving that connection. We're craving that personal input. I don't want to do a course with 30,000 other people where the instructor isn't going to be able to give me 1 minute of personal time to answer my question about my business. Because even if if you ask a question and it gets answered, it's only getting answered because it's broad enough that it could appeal to many. And that has always bothered me. And I know it bothers other people, and they just want to get the answers to their questions, not this general look. So we are moving more and more towards wanting that connection with people again. So examine your social media channels and see where most of your customer care conversations are happening. Create content that gets people talking. So those polls that we were talking about last week, get something that's soliciting opinions, or, asking about feelings, so that people are getting to interact with you and you can share yours, so that there is this back and forth with you and your social media following. Respond to questions and, if there are any, complaints as quickly as possible when they appear on your social channels. Use social listening to find conversations where your brand or products, where your services are being mentioned, but you aren't tagged. So it's really important for you to be able to come back to these things quickly. This is an extension of what I've spoken about with your email marketing. If you do not respond quick enough, they're going to go elsewhere. But if you set the expectations and they hear from you straight away with that autoresponder, then you have time to come back to it. But you have to come back in that time that you said. So you can set up autoresponders for your Instagram Messenger, Facebook Messenger, so that when people message you, they will get an auto response. Thank you so much for sending me a message. I'm hoping to respond within the next 24 hours. Please head over to my website and take a look at this. I think it might help, but I will get back to you as soon as I can, so that they know that you are going to reply, and then make that happen, because it is really important to give people a good experience from their very first connection with you. And if it is public on social media especially, then you need to be answering those. Now, you can have it, a post somewhere on your wall that says, how you work and when you're on social, or you can have it in your bio, I'm here between 4 and 6 p.m. or whatever, to answer your questions, and I will answer your questions, so that people have got some sort of idea of when you're going to be around. I think it's really important that we don't let it consume us, because I've said before now that I don't believe in being in your emails all day. I would rather go in at quick 10 minutes at lunchtime, quick 10 minutes at the end of the day to see if there's anything important that need answering. And then there'll be another spot during my week where I will sort of schedule time to go through the rest of the stuff and make sure that I haven't missed anything. But it's important that with social media, it's the same thing. People expect instant responses, but you could get so bogged down in all of the other notifications that aren't relevant to you and your work day if you're not careful. So I would say just be cautious about that one, because it is important to be answering questions quickly on social, but you need to find that balance so that it doesn't become every time your phone pings, you're picking it up and checking that, and it's taking you away from the important stuff that you're doing as well. So ultimately, you use this social media customer care program to connect and converse in ways that make you seem human, because that's what we all want, the human connection. We don't want to be talking to these big brands that are faceless. We want to be talking to humans when we're on social. So make sure that your customer care program is really sort of focused on that human connection, which we are lucky to have in the wedding industry, because most of us are solopreneurs or, one or two people businesses. It is so much easier for us because we are the only ones answering. So it's always going to be consistent. It's always going to feel real and authentic because we are our businesses. So in that respect, we've kind of got the tick there on that one. So social media isn't going anywhere, and moreover, clients are making more and more buying decisions through social channels. So don't underestimate where your conversations on social could lead. You can take a look at the full social media examiner report at the link over in the show notes. So you can head to bit.ly/WPC UK 140. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please, as I say, share this episode with anyone you think that it might be able to help. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do take a moment to share this episode on your social media and tag me, Donna at SPWV, over on Instagram, and make sure you hit subscribe where you listen so you don't miss the next upload. Until next week, bye for now.
Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.